This is the Daily Roundup on the eArts Cambodia channel. A very good evening to you. I'm Andrew Barnes-Roberts. Making headlines tonight. Another 43 cases of the Delta variant are detected in Phnom Penh, with an entire village locked down for 21 days. Cambodia's lone Paralympian prepares to carry the kingdom's flag at the opening ceremony of the 2020 Paralympic Games. And a sign that there's light at the end of the tunnel, as London's Palace Guards resume their famous ceremony after an 18-month break. Banteay Manche has become that provincial and capital administrations now had control over their own COVID-19 preventative measures. At the same time, the number of Delta cases continues to spread in Phnom Penh. EAC News reporter Reo Soko has the details.
No fewer than 43 cases of the Delta variant have been detected in Prek Pino's Andong village in the commune of Kork Ruka, given that the 38 Delta cases confirmed in the capital, taking the number to at least 281, the highest in the kingdom. Although no red zones, Phnom Penh still has restrictions in place, which are due to expire on Thursday. These include the closure of high-risk businesses, a ban on alcohol sales, as well as on gatherings of more than 15 people. After Phnom Penh, it is the border provinces of Odar Meanchey and Banteay Meanchey that have the Tuk Tala and Kampong Suai in Siray Supon City. It has also closed Chakrai Market in the district of Prianet Priya. Residents in red zones are not allowed to leave their homes at all without permission from authorities. Areas are also heavily guarded. Last Friday, Preah Vihear declared
Cambodia's total COVID-19 case count has topped 90,000. 466 new cases were confirmed by the Health Ministry shortly before lunchtime on Tuesday. They take the total first time that has been in double digits in weeks. New cases are also still being outpaced by recoveries, with 512 patients discharged overnight. As of Tuesday, 13 more deaths have been reported overnight, though, taking the country's total COVID-19 death toll to 1,821. Prime Minister Hun Sen has urged provincial and capital governors to set up more accessible vaccination sites. This is in line with a final pot being vaccinated in provinces which have already completed their inoculation programs, most especially women who recently gave birth. EAC News reporter Reo Soko has the story.
the royal vaccines. The government expects to reach its 10 million adults target within the next few weeks, but pockets of that population still haven't been vaccinated. The Health Ministry says this could have an impact on achieving herd immunity. Prime Minister Hun Sen has now urged provincial and capital governors to set up more vaccination sites so that everyone's a vaccine. Almost 79% have been fully vaccinated. Of the 2 million children aged between 12 and 17 who are getting their shots, 55% have been inoculated, with 67,000 children already having received both shots. Meanwhile, the booster vaccination program also continues to run smoothly. Cambodia has already provided third doses to more than 500,000 frontline workers, including doctors, military, and police officers. On Monday, it was the turn of over 1,000 athletes at Morodok Teko Stadium. Prime Minister Hun Sen has included the athletes in the prioritized group of people, especially those who will be competing in the upcoming SEA Games. Rhea Soko, EAC News.
The Ministry of Posts and Telecommunications has confirmed that it now has availability of 2 types of rapid test kits. They are imported from South Korea and China, and although they have a price difference of $1.70, the ministry has assured the public that they can be equally trusted. The ministry says the rapid test kits made in South Korea are manufactured by SD Biosensor. They are World Health Organization approved, are easy to use, and confirm a result within 15 minutes. They cost $3.70 each. The Chinese test kits are produced by HealGen at a cost of just $2 apiece. The ministry says they're widely used and can also produce results in up to 15 minutes. However, it is not clear on the HealGen website whether the product has WHO approval. It does say negative results do not necessarily rule out COVID infection, particularly for those who have been in contact with the virus. The Chinese test kit has also been designed for use in hospitals and other medical settings. It is not intended for home use. Despite the ongoing effects of the pandemic and the country's community transmission event, Cambodia's revenue performance remains stable and in good condition in the second quarter. This was revealed during Monday's meeting of the Public Financial Management Reform Commission. That meeting was chaired by Finance Minister Orn Ponmonirot. The discussion focused on monitoring the progress of the implementation of the % below target, but officials are confident that target will be achieved by the end of the year. The budget implementation process is also improving thanks to the introduction of action plans for resolving so-called congestion expenditures, expanding the payment of national budgets through e-transfers, improved preparation of public financial guidelines by ministries and other institutions, as well as strengthening the effectiveness of reforms to the public procurement system. The Finance Minister has expressed his thanks to his team for having achieved so much despite the pandemic. Well, now for a look at news from around the world making headlines this Tuesday, the 24th of August. As the evacuation of foreign nationals and the Afghans who worked with them continues from Kabul's Hamid Karzai International Airport, the clock is ticking. Just how much longer these planes will be able to take off and land is becoming a major bone of contention between the Taliban and Western governments, something the Taliban says is just not going to happen. Speaking from Qatar, Taliban spokesman Sohail Shaheen said any delay would be a clear violation.
No, we do not want to extend because that is occupation. The occupation must come to an end. And they can have a good relation with us. If they want to, they can participate in reconstruction of Afghanistan, and they can have cooperation with Afghanistan to participate in the reconstruction of Afghanistan, because they were involved in destruction of Afghanistan, in the bloodshed in Afghanistan.
Taliban, who claim they do not have the right paperwork. They are being ordered to return home and get back to work, with assurances from the Taliban that there will be no reprisals for having worked for foreign governments. In London, of the street, activists from the Extinction Rebellion group want an emergency response from governments and a mass move. The Guildhall is the home of the City of London Corporation, which governs the city's historic financial centre. More protests are planned for the next 2 weeks. Tropical storm Henri. It weakened to a tropical depression on Sunday, but is gathering strength as it dumps rain and triggers flash floods and power cuts as it moves up the eastern seaboard of the United States. It's also threatening dangerous storm surges along the coasts of New England and Long Island. More than 42 million people in the region are under a hurricane or tropical storm warning. Paralympic Games in Tokyo. All the details in your sports news after the break. EAC News fully supports the royal government of Cambodia's preventative and admit to an end. Wash your hands regularly. Sanitize wherever possible. Keep an eye on your body temperature. Use the Stop COVID QR code. And maintain a safe social distance. But above all, please, please, please wear a mask. Only together can we beat COVID-19. eArts Cambodia's audience is growing. Our YouTube channel now has 150,000 verified subscribers. To mark the milestone, we've received the Silver Creator Award from YouTube, given to channels with over 100,000 subscribers. YouTube CEO Susan Wojcicki says the award celebrates eArts Cambodia's hard work and incredible achievement. She says not only has eArts Cambodia brought a unique voice and style to the world, but has also created valuable connections and built a community along the way. The next milestone we're going for is 1 million subscribers on /eArts Cambodia. Subscribers get all the latest breaking news and updates from Cambodia in English. We'll see you there. If it's happening and you need to know about it, you'll get it all right here. Platforms and channels: YouTube, Facebook, Telegram, Twitter, and our website www.eartscambodia.com. Join me, Andrew Barnes-Roberts, and the rest of the EAC News team every day on your favorite channels. EAC News, Cambodia made clear. The 2020 Paralympic Games are underway in Tokyo. Tuesday evening sees the opening ceremony, followed by 12 days of competition. Cambodia has one athlete at the Paralympics. Van Von will compete in Yi Sopektra. Hours before the opening ceremony, the International Paralympic Committee addressed the media, saying the flag of Afghanistan will appear as a sign of solidarity with the athletes who were unable to travel due to the sudden fall of Kabul last week. But it was the pandemic that was on most people's minds.
One of the questions I have been asked quite often is, can we have safe games? And the answer is yes. We would not be here if we did not believe that we could deliver safe games. The Olympics have shown that the playbooks work. We do understand, of course, the rise in number of cases in Tokyo in Japan for the Paralympics, and the numbers rising in Japan.
Parsons says the Olympic Games did not become the super spreader event everyone feared, and that the Paralympic Games won't do either. Nice and Olympique de Marseille have been summoned to a disciplinary hearing on Wednesday after their weekend Ligue 1 match had to be abandoned due to crowd trouble. The game at Nice's Allianz Riviera was abandoned in the 75th minute on Sunday. Marseille players clashed with their own fans, who pelted them with bottles and other missiles before storming onto the pitch. The fans just weren't happy with the way their team was playing. Marseille midfielder Dimitri Payet was struck by a bottle as he was about to take a corner. A full-scale brawl erupted when he threw that bottle back. Fans poured out of the south stand and onto the pitch. It's now been closed for the next 4 matches and has been surrounded by netting. The French sports minister has described the incident as regrettable, especially given how sports venues have been empty for several months due to the pandemic. In addition to the probe by the French Football League, a judicial investigation has also been launched. Windsurfing, or windfoiling, as those in the know prefer to call it, will make its Olympic debut at Paris 2024. And France is hoping it'll take the event's first Olympic golds after their success at an international tournament in Switzerland this past weekend. France dominated both the men's and women's races. Hélène Nussmoen and Nicolas Goyard were both crowned world champions after winning the IQ Foil World Championship on the scenic Lake Silvaplana. Nussmoen became the first ever women's champion after she led her event for the entire week. Britain also had a strong showing, with both Ailey Watson and Saskia Sills completing the podium. In the men's race, Goyard showed why he was one of the favourites as the most important and largest foil competition of 2021, featuring 250 competitors from all over the world. It also gave sports fans a taste of what this will look like as an Olympic sport in 3 years' time. All right, let's take a look at what the weather's going to be up to tomorrow. And finally, for the first time since the pandemic began last year, the famous changing of the guard ceremony has returned to Buckingham Palace in London. It was a welcome sight and a sign that there's light at the end of the tunnel. A ceremony which dates back to the days of Queen Victoria, when a grumpy monarch saw a guard with a dirty uniform and in sight of international tourists. The crowd may have been smaller on Monday, but after a pause of 18 months, it was hailed as a sign that the days of the pandemic are numbered and that life will eventually return to normal. A very welcome change indeed. Head to www.e-artscambodia.com. You can also search for EAC News on Telegram and at your favorite app store. More from the EAC News team in the Daily Roundup tomorrow night at 8. I will see you then. Prime Minister Hun Sen has urged provincial and capital governors to set up more accessible vaccination sites. This is in line with a final push to reach the target of 10 million fully vaccinated adults. The Ministry of Health says there's a small portion of the population which has still not been vaccinated in provinces which have already completed their inoculation programs, most especially women who recently gave birth. EAC News reporter Rayo Soko has the story.
The royal government has been lauded by a variety of international agencies for its rapid rollout of COVID-19 vaccines. The government expects to reach its 10 million adults target within the next few weeks, but pockets of that population still haven't been vaccinated. The Ministry of Health points to women who have been pregnant or breastfeeding in the past few months, as well as some returning residents from overseas. The Health Ministry says this could have an impact on achieving herd immunity. Prime Minister Hun Sen has now urged provincial and capital governors to set up more vaccination sites so that everyone can get their shots. As of Tuesday, 87.6% of the 10 million target have had at least one dose of vaccine. Almost 79% have been fully vaccinated. Of the 2 million children aged between 12 and 17 who are getting their shots, 55% have been inoculated, with 67,000 children already having received both shots. Meanwhile, the booster vaccination program also continues to run smoothly. Cambodia has already provided third doses to more than 500,000 frontline workers, including doctors, military, and police officers. On Monday, it was the turn of over 1,000 athletes at Morodok Teko Stadium. Prime Minister Hun Sen has included the athletes in the prioritized group of people, especially those who will be competing in the upcoming SEA Games.